What's up guys, and welcome back to Software Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Season 2. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, my previous video I uploaded was for Warzone Season 2 and its latest updates. This video will be for Modern Warfare 2 and its latest updates. Alright, let's jump straight into it. Let me show you what you can do to get the best performance out of your machine and out of this game, as well as including in-game settings. Let's jump straight into it. Alright, so the first thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is have your Battle.net open like this, okay? And then go to Battle.net itself. Battle.net might have an update. Go ahead, if it has a little green thing here, just restart it and let it update. After you've done the update and you come back into this, come here where it says settings, and you're going to go to app over here, and you're going to say here, exit Battle.net completely on game launch. So every time you launch this game, or Warzone, or whatever you are playing inside Battle.net, it will close this app in the background, and it won't run in the background, alright? And use resources like your RAM and your CPU. This is very important for you to untick or uncheck this little box over here that says use browser hardware acceleration. Now, I highly recommend that you go ahead and uncheck this. If yours is checked, it's going to ask you to restart. Please go ahead and uncheck it and then restart yours. Please go ahead and do that. Once you are done with that, then we are done with the Battle.net itself. Let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is this, and it plays a very big role on your machine. Go to Start, go to Settings, and go to Update and Security. This is a very, very big step on your game itself for Modern Warfare 2 and every other single game that you are playing right now at this very moment. Please keep your Windows up to date. There's no point in you updating your games all the time and you can't wait for the update to finish so you can play the game, but your Windows isn't updated, or your GPU isn't updated, or whatever the case might be. I do recommend that you go ahead also and update your GPU drivers. Have this version over here, 531.18 for Modern Warfare 2. Right now at this very moment, this seems fine on the game for Modern Warfare 2 Season 2, so I do recommend that you go ahead and download your graphics card drivers and keep them up to date. If you are an AMD user or an Nvidia user like me, please go ahead and do this. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is this over here. This plays a very big role on your game as well, and it's this here. You're going to go to Start, going to go to Settings, and you're going to go to Gaming, and you're going to go to Game Mode, and make sure the Game Mode is turned on. Right now, at this very moment, with Season 2, Game Mode helps for Call of Duty just in general, and then going to Graphics Settings over here, and turn off Hardware Accelerated GPU Scheduling. Please go ahead and turn this off. You do not need it to be on. You are going to lose performance in the game, and you also going to experience stutters, so please go ahead and turn this off. Alright, let's jump straight into the next one. Something that's very, very important that I recommend you guys go and do is, because a lot of people are complaining about this, go to Start, go to your settings, and then go to Privacy, scroll all the way down to where you see background apps. Now, a lot of people are complaining about other apps inside Modern Warfare that's taking up their VRAM. Alright, now there's a very heavy in-depth version of how to turn that way lower, so you get way lower other apps using your VRAM. This is one of them. All you need to do is turn this off. I know with Windows 11 it's going to be even more difficult. You have to individually disable them, not just put them off. You have to individually disable them on Windows 11. Windows 10, if you're on Windows 10 like me, all you're going to need to do is just turn it off like this. So if you are a Windows 10 user like me, it's very easy to turn these things off, and you might have a lot of things inside here, not just the stuff that I have. You might have way more stuff than me. All you're going to need to do is turn it off. Once it's off, it won't run in the background, and it won't use resources. So please go ahead and turn this off. All right, let's jump straight into the next step. Okay, so something I just want to mention is these are all my members that became members on my YouTube channel to support my YouTube videos and also to have exclusive videos being made for them. Now, every single person that's inside here, I appreciate every single one of you. It's just that I haven't been myself in the past couple of days. I am going to one of my best friend's funerals on Saturday, and I had to push through my Warzone video that I made previously, my previous upload. I had to push through it. I was in a good space, and I don't feel I'm in the greatest of spaces right now, but I'm still trying to help the Call of Duty community as best I can. So thanks to every single person out there that has become a member on my YouTube channel. It really means a lot to me. It honestly does. Really, it does. It means a lot to me. So every single person that's in here that is a member on my channel, thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. And don't worry, I will be uploading a members only video, another one for the overclocking of GPU and overclocking of your CPU and RAM. I will be doing it soon. It's just that, yeah, I have been going through a lot of difficult times, and I'm trying to be myself. I'm trying my best to be myself. I do apologize. I do apologize. But yeah, so I will be doing those videos for you guys as soon as possible. But thanks to everyone out there that has become a YouTube member on my channel. It really means a lot to me. If you would like to become a member on my YouTube channel. It would be much appreciated. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is, if you are an Nvidia user like me, you're just going to right click on your desktop or go to the search button over here and type in Nvidia Control Panel and open up Nvidia Control Panel. Now once this is opened up, you're going to go over here where it says adjust image settings with preview, and you're going to go over here where it says use the advanced 3D image settings, and you're going to click on take me there, and it's basically just going to take you to manage 3D settings, which is this over here. Now you're just going to copy all of my settings as is, otherwise I'm going to make this video way too long if I explain these things, but I need to explain a few of them. Okay, so off, application controlled, I do recommend you do this. Off, on, application controlled, off, all, which is your GPU that you're currently running. So you just click on this, make sure that you have your GPU selected and say okay. Scroll down. DSR factors is for some people. That's not my preference. I don't use this to do upscaling. I don't use this at all. I basically use in-game settings to do that. You can go ahead and use DSR factors, which is super resolution. I don't use it. It's your own personal preference, okay? Low latency mode. A lot of people are commenting on my videos and asking me, yo dude, I don't have this on option. I only have ultra. If you only have ultra, keep it on ultra. Select ultra then, okay? If you don't have this option at all, then just leave it, okay? Leave it off if you don't have this option at all. There's a lot of people that are leaving me comments about this specific one over here, low latency mode, okay? I have mine on with my 9700K and my RTX 2060 OC. It runs perfectly fine, okay? Max frame rate off, you're going to do it in your game. Multi-frame sampling AA off, you're going to do it in your games. This is why I do the global, and this is why I don't do programs. I do the global settings, because this will help not just for Modern Warfare 2, it will actually help for you to play other games better as well, and they will feel much smoother, okay? So OpenGL, you're going to keep on auto, use your GPU, prefer maximum performance. 100 gigs still helps for just input and lag and basically just your game stuttering and stuff like that. Keeping it on 100 gigs is perfect. Don't put it on unlimited. Don't put it on disable. Keep it at 100 gigs. Alright? This plays a very big role in these. Okay? All these texture filtering. I highly recommend you turn this off. You put this on allow. Put this on high performance for the quality tab. It will give you more performance in your game. Keep this on off. And then threaded optimization. Take advantage of this and go ahead and put this on. Triple buffered off, and then these are just virtual reality things. You're not going to do anything inside here. Once you're done with that, you're just going to say apply, and you're going to apply these settings. Your screen might flash a few times. Don't worry about that. It's just applying the settings. Okay. Once that's done, you're going to go to config surround and physics and make sure you select your GPU. Okay. Not auto select, not CPU, your dedicated graphics card. Okay. Once you're done selecting it, say apply. You're going to go to adjust desktop color settings, and you're going to come inside here. This is my personal preference right now at this very moment for season 2, okay? It's my personal preference, and I highly recommend that you maybe play around with these, but you could go with this. It's fine. It's basically its defaults right now, okay? But this is not its defaults, okay? This plays a very big role on your game itself and how your game looks, how all your games look, in fact. Now, if you turn this all the way to 0, it's going to go black and white, and then as you turn it up, the more digital vibrance it's going to give out. Now, for me right now, I have mine at 95, and this is my sweet spot for my games to look really good. It doesn't matter what I'm playing. This makes my game pop already, and there's also in-game settings in Modern Warfare 2 to make your game look much better as well. So please go ahead and change play around with this, basically. Don't use Nvidia filters. Nvidia filters are going to give you FPS loss. Rather do it in here. You can do it on your monitor as well. If your monitor has buttons, especially if you have a gaming monitor and stuff like that, or just a monitor in general, you'll have buttons on it to do the brightness and the contrast and stuff like that. You can do it on your monitor, and you can do it in here, and you can do it in your game. Don't use Nvidia filters. It's going to give you less FPS. Trust me on this. I have tried this. Please don't use Nvidia filters. Rather use this. Okay, once you're done with that, you're just going to apply these settings. Alright, so this plays the biggest role inside Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is its config file itself. You're going to go to your file explorer, go to documents, go to Call of Duty, go to players, and you're going to go to options3.cod22 and open this up. Double click on this, open this up with any notepad or any editing software that you can edit with. Scroll all the way down to where you see it says renderer work account. Now, right now, at this very moment, a lot of people has commented down below saying that they put their total cores inside here and they do more FPS. I half my cores. I have an 8-core, 8-thread CPU. I half my cores to 4 like this, and I do better FPS inside Modern Warfare 2. Now, if you feel and see that your game performs worse by halving your cores, then put your total cores there. So if you have a total of 4, put 4 there. If you have a total of 8, put 8 there. If you have a total of 10, put 10 there. If you have a total of 12, put 12 there. You get my point. Or half it. So if you have 12, you put 6 there. If you have 10, you put 5 there. If you have 8, you put 4 there. You get my drift, alright? Once you've done applying these settings, all you need to do is go to this over here where it says File, say Save, and then close out of this. Now, a lot of people has said it doesn't save. What you do is you need to restart your computer for it to save, okay? You need to restart your BattleNet, you need to restart your computer. Once that's done, then everything should be good to go. Alright, let's jump straight into the game. Let me show you the best settings you can use right now for Season 2 with its latest updates. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm in my game right now, and this is the latest updates that are brought out. So obviously we have Dome over here, and then Shoot the Ship, and then Gun Game, and we do have some more over here. Now, obviously, the first thing you're going to need to do is go to this little gear icon over here, and then go to Graphics, and then go to Quality. Now, right now, this very moment for Season 2, with the latest updates, I'm running my game with Nvidia DLSS. I do prefer it. Sometimes it does give a little bit blurriness on the left and right hand side of your screen when you move too fast. I just want to explain that to you guys. So, a lot of people do prefer either AMD FSR, and you can use this with your Nvidia graphics card as well, so don't worry about that. You can use this as an AMD user or an Nvidia user as well. AMD FSR on ultra quality looks really good. You can try balance out, so what it'll do is it'll balance out the quality and your FPS. Now, something I don't recommend is performance. You will lose a lot of quality if you use AMD FSR and use this performance option over here. You'll lose a lot of quality. Don't use performance, okay? Go with balanced quality. If your machine can handle it, go with ultra quality. AMD FSR is the one that gives the most FPS out of this game right now for Season 2 with Modern Warfare 2. Okay, and then a lot of people are either using that or they are using the Nvidia DLSS. I go with balance over here. I would go with performance, but then you'll get even less visuals in your game. So I do recommend balanced over here. If you don't use any of these right here, then I do recommend going with Fidelity FX Cache and then have your own sharpness over here. Mine is 60. It's always been 60 and will always be 60 because of the screen I'm using. It depends on your monitor over here, what you're going to use here. Always have this at 100%. Never downscale it unless your machine is like really dog shit. Then I would understand if you're going to downscale it, but I don't recommend it because your game's going to start looking like that instead of like this, okay? And you want your game to look like that and not like dog shit like this, okay? So I do not recommend this. Maybe you can go with the Nvidia DLAA. You can go with this. You can try it out. I don't recommend it though. But a lot of people are also using the video image scaling and they're putting it at native and at 10 over here. Then what it will do is it will run your native resolution. So if you're running 1080p, 1440p, 2K, 4K, whatever you are running, it will push it to its native resolution. And the game will look really, really good if you put it on native. A lot of people do prefer also going with quality or balanced or ultra quality. It does depend on your machine, and you can see the VRAM over here. Now, in the beginning of my video, I was talking about the other apps. There's the other apps, okay? I'm only using 550 megs of VRAM in the background while my graphics card is being used, okay? So the background apps is very important to go over. So watch my entire video. Don't just skip into my settings over here because it's not going to help you to skip in here and you don't know what to do to decrease this. Go watch the beginning of my video where I explain other apps and why it's using your VRAM, okay? So right now, at this very moment, I do use Nvidia DLSS at balance, or I will use AMD FSR at ultra quality. My machine is capable of running it perfectly fine at ultra quality, and I do recommend you go ahead and use AMD FSR at this very moment. It makes the game run really well, and your FPS is also really, really good. Okay, anti-analyzing, I still go with full mic SMAA T2 times. It makes the game look really, really good. And if you go with SMAA T2 times without full mic, what it's going to do is it's going to make these little jagged edges and stuff like that that you don't want in the game, okay? Unless you want to increase by a little bit FPS, like 3 to 5 FPS, you can go to this over here, depending on your machine. If you need that little bit boost, you can go to SMAAT 2 times, okay? I have my anti-aliasing quality at ultra, so obviously it has to do with this. So I have it at ultra quality. I have my video memory scale at 90%. The reason why I have it at 90% is because I have my texture resolution at normal, this at high, and this at high. The only reason why you would drop this down to, let's say 70, okay, is when you start putting this at like normal, and you have this at low, and you have this at low, and maybe you have even this at like low. But if you put this at low, and you put this at low, then put it to 50, like this. Now I have mine at 90% because I have my texture resolution at normal, I have this at high, I have this at high, and I have this at high. I have a 9700K, an RTX 2060 OC, and 16 gigs of RAM. And this is the settings I'm using right now for Season 2 and its latest updates, okay? So short, high, particle quality I have on high, because for some reason low, or well, literally, if you go to high, it does 5. As you can see, 2865. If you go to low, it's 2864. So literally, that is like basically fuck all. So you can go with high and just go with high. Particle quality level, I go with low. Bullet impacts and sprays doesn't have anything to do with FPS. It doesn't decrease or increase your FPS by putting this off, and it won't decrease your FPS by putting it on. So just leave this on, okay? This you can leave off or on at your own personal preference. Shader quality has nothing to do anymore with if you put this on high, then your gun skin will look good. You can put this at low, your gun skin will still look absolutely perfectly fine. Test it out and see it for yourself. Low, go with low. It's an FPS hogger if you put this at high. You don't need to, okay? There's no physical difference in visual in the game when you have this at low. Okay, tessellation off, always off, just put it fucking off and done. Alright, terrain memory, I do recommend max. Since this is Modern Warfare 2, it is a multiplayer game, it's not a battle royale. I do recommend putting this at max so you can get the max out of this. Alright, on-demand texture streaming, I'm not going to go over this because it's going to take very long to go over this and explain this. I don't want to make this video too long, alright? So you don't even need this, to be honest with you. It's to do with your internet and downloading textures on the fly, but let's not go into that, alright? Streaming quality, low, always. Volumetric quality, I used to have this at medium, but right now at this very moment with this latest update, I have this at low because it's an FPS hogger, alright? Physics quality, low. Water, for the love of a fuck, you don't need to see the water in this game because the water is not much of a detail that you need to see, okay? It's not something that you really need to want to see. It's the people, okay? So even with this off, you can still see underwater, so leave it off. Just leave it off, okay? Shadow map resolution, I have it very low. This is an FPS hogger. In fact, everything here in shadow and lighting is an FPS hogger except spot cache. So you can go with low over here, go with low over here. You can even go with off over here, to be honest with you. But I have mine at low, and I have this over here, maybe like at medium or at high, depending on your machine. So I would go with low here. Spot cache always ultra because it has to do with 100 gigs, okay? So you don't get any like stuttering in your game. So go with ultra over here, and you could go with high as well, depending on how much stutter you're getting in your game. If you're getting stutter while being on ultra, go with high then. If you're getting less stutter on ultra, then go with ultra, okay? Particle lighting, low. Ambient occlusion, off, always off. Unless you're playing single player, then you can put this on. For the love of fuck, don't put this on if you're playing the multiplayer game. Cool. Right. So screen space reflections, always off, never been on. Static reflection quality, low. Weather, you do not want to see the fucking weather in the game, turn it off. Alright. On plus boost is always a thing in this game, and I do recommend you play around with this one by either putting it on plus boost or on. It depends on your CPU and your GPU. Basically how fast they keep up with one another, and that's also the low latency mode inside Nvidia control panel if you are an Nvidia user like me. So that plays a very big role. So if you put it on ultra, go with on plus boost. Okay, if you put it on, then also go with on plus boost. If you have it off, then I would still recommend keeping this at on plus boost or on. It's gonna depend. Okay, so you're gonna have depth of field on off, world motion blur on off, weapon motion blur. Apparently now at this new update, you can turn this off now. You won't get any stuttering. Film grain all the way to 0.00, and then you're good to go, and you can just apply these settings. From here, you're going to go to view, and this is your own personal preference. I can't tell you what to do inside here. I literally can't, but you can copy my settings if you want to. From here, we're going to go to interface, and then we're going to go to color customization, go to filter 2, both 100%, 100%. Have this a custom and choose your own personal color for enemies. While I'm running around, my enemies are pink, bright as fuck, and I can see them very, very easily. I highly recommend you choose a bright color. It could go red, you could go yellow, green, baby blue, dark blue. Like pink is this pink that I'm using now. It's not really pink. It's more magenta. Like you could go over here, then it's like more of a magenta color. So it depends on your personal preference over here. Ladies and gentlemen, if this worked for you, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and as always, peace out.